Happy Monday, Monday, Monday. I don't even know the rest of the lyrics of that song, but it hit me right when I hit record. Thank you for hanging out on a Monday Bible reading to inspire you to read the Bible every day. Here's why. Simple. It is the life, the wisdom, the will, the purpose, the mind of God to us as humans, and it's life. John 6:63. The words of Jesus are life. So, as I say, a chapter, a verse, a sentence, just one word from the Word of God. It brings life to you. Read it every day. Mark chapter 9, I have been stuck on this for quite a while. Well, actually, when I say stuck, I mean years, not just a week or two. Although the verse has been back in my heart this week, I have meditated on it for years. Let me share it with you. Mark chapter 9, verse number 23. Well, actually, I'll just read the whole passage and then dive in with my thinking. It says this: a man in a crowd answered, "Teacher, I brought you my son who's possessed by a spirit that's robbed him of speech, and when he foams at the mouth, he gnashes his teeth and he becomes rigid. So I asked your disciples to drive out the spirit, but they could not." Mark 9, verse 19. "You unbelieving generation," Jesus replied, "how long shall I stay with you? How long shall I put up with you? Bring the boy to me." So they brought him. When the spirit saw Jesus, it immediately threw the boy into a convulsion. He fell to the ground and rolled around, foaming at the mouth. Jesus asked the boy's father, "How long has he been like this?" "From childhood," he answered. "It's often thrown him into the fire or water to kill him. But if you can do anything, take pity on us and help us." And then this is the verse that I have been stuck on for years, literally, verse 23. "If you can," said Jesus, "everything is possible for the person who believes." I've just struggled with that verse. I think I even posted on my story that it challenges me to believe it's true because it's Jesus saying it. So I come to this conclusion: it has to be true. So rather than me going, "Is it true?" I just land on it has to be true because Jesus said it. In Titus chapter 1, verse 2 says, God cannot lie. Jesus is God. So one thing Jesus cannot do is lie. So then therefore, when I read a verse that it doesn't seem to fit the narrative of my experiences, it doesn't fit my issues, I quote it, but it doesn't work, then rather than going, well, maybe the Bible's not real or Jesus is lying, I try to pull my life back to it and I ask the hard questions. And I start at it's true, but I don't see it as true or experience it as truth. And I begin to ask the questions why. But I don't just ask why from God's perspective, but mine as well. And I've been doing that for years to understand this. I've preached it many times. I've taught it. And I'm still wrestling with it. But I thought I would share it with you. And maybe what I've wrestled with and worked out will help you today. Mark 9:23 again. "If you can," said Jesus, "everything," well, another version says all things, same thing, all of it, "is possible for the one that believes." So I start here. My question is, all things? Can't be all things because I have a laundry list of things I'm asking Jesus to do, and he's not doing it. So it's not all things. It would just be some things. But if I land on it's just some things, then Jesus would be a liar because he said all things. So then I wrestle with, well, maybe what Jesus means all is not what I think all, because my all is everything. Everything I come to you with, it should be possible, and I don't get everything. I get some, 30, 40%. I'm not at 100%, but you actually say, Jesus, it's like 100% if I believe everything's possible. So then I bring in, well, what does he mean by possible? What does he mean possible? Like possible, but you're not going to do it? Possible, but you will do it. It's possible, but not for you, Mark. Oh, it's possible. I can do it, but just not for you. You're not worthy. So I wrestle with that. What does he mean possible? Possible for me, possible for him, possible for God, but good luck if you get it. It's kind of like the lotto. So I wrestled there for years. What does he mean by all impossible? And then this phrase, for anybody. So that irritates me because so there's not a formula, like, so I don't get rewarded for living better than other people. It's anybody can put this to work. So it just messes with me. So I thought if it messes with me, maybe it does with you. And I would like to land on what I believe. Start here. Number one, I believe it is true. All things are possible to the person that believes. So it leaves me with the last word. What does it mean to believe? Well, we could go 1,000 ways. It means to have faith in God. It means to believe that what he says is true. Hebrews says that God rewards those who believe. So maybe it means that the possibility is I will be rewarded. And then that messes with me because I think, well, I want to be rewarded with what I want, not rewarded with what you think I need. And so, but if I believe I'll be rewarded, for that is what faith is. God pleases God and he rewards those who diligently seek him. So maybe believing is that I seek God, and in the seeking, the possibility comes true. Again, and then I read James, and James says if I just waver, James chapter 1, if I waver, meaning go back and forth between opinion A and opinion B, meaning today I believe, but tomorrow things got worse, so I don't believe, or I think I believe. Wednesday, I sort of believe. Thursday, I'm in, man. I listened to a sermon, I'm back in. James calls that wavering. It means to jump back and forth between two opinions, meaning I believe God, well, maybe not. Well, I'm going to trust him, probably not. And in that says you don't get anything. So that means if I just have a shred of doubt, that's not believing. And that messes with me, because who doesn't have a shred of doubt? At least this is what this guy says, is if you can help me, help my unbelief. Have pity. I do believe, but I have unbelief. And then that messes with me, like, well, is that believing? Is that what it means to believe? To jump back and forth? I'm all in today. Now I'm ticked off at God because it didn't work. So you can see how literally decades I have wrestled with this, trying to understand it. Why do I statistically not ever achieve all? And why does it not seem like everything? And why does it seem like it doesn't work for me at times? And why does it seem like God has better days than worse? And the better days is he gives me a thumb up that he's going to do something for me. And on the worst days, I feel like he's ignoring me. And then the days where I think I'm believing, only to realize I really don't, because I'm still nervous and anxious and scared. And but then I rattle myself and go, no, just believe anyway. So here's what I've landed on. All things are possible to him who believes. 100% true. Here's what I've landed on. All things means all. Here's what I've landed on. Anybody can put this into practice. But when I come to the word believe, here's what I think I've worked out. All things are possible to him who believes, and that believing is not the results, but the believing is trusting the person, God. And that brings me much more peace, because when my believing is that if I do this just right, I'm going to get the result I want, then I can be frustrated. And I say all things are not possible because I did not get the result that I wanted. But if I say all things are possible to him who believes, and you say, what are you believing? And I say, I'm believing in him. And the moment I trust him, then I know that the possibility is true. But the possibility is I'm trusting him to do whatever he wants to do, because that's where the possibility resides. So when I pray a prayer and it doesn't happen the way I want it to happen, rather than calling God a liar, or rather than beating myself up going, did I not believe it? Does he not favor me and like me? Now I land on, here's my need, and I know that all the possibilities of that reside in you. So I give that to you, and I trust you to handle the possibility. And that possibility may come to pass by noon. It may come to pass 6 months from now. It may come to pass 5 years from now. Or like Abraham, it may come to pass 25 years from now. But I trust you. I trust you, Jesus, with the possibility. And in that I find peace. I no longer think the possibility is the result. The possibility is the person. And I put my faith in him, that he knows everything I need. And when he's ready to release the possibility, I'm ready to receive it. And now what I have found out, the possibility is not even getting the answer. The possibility is in to trust him and not the answer. Once I came that the possibility of believing is to trust him, it made my life go so much better. because now I'm not irritated if I don't get the answer in time. I trust him. He's in charge. Well, it doesn't seem like it's working. It doesn't have to work on my end. The possibility is in his end. Well, it doesn't seem like he cares about you. You still haven't gotten your prayer answered. So I still trust him. I still believe he knows what I need. I still believe he's working for me even though I don't see it. Because the possibility is not in me getting the answer. The possibility is in trusting who he is. And once you begin to put your belief in trusting who he is, not what you get out of him, it makes life go better. Because we often might not get what we want out of him, and then therefore it causes us to maybe be frustrated with him or question him, rather than just saying, you know what? I trust him. I trust him with my life. I trust him with my children, my spouse, my health, my future, my money. I trust him. And I believe he's in charge. And things don't have to be going well for me to believe he's in charge, because that's my faith. He is in charge of my life. Not because of good results, but he's in charge because it's who he is. The possibilities rest in him. Hope that helps you a little bit. I'm sure I will still be trying to work this verse out for years to come, but I hope it challenges you to believe in him. And by believing, you're trusting him with the possibilities, and you're just at peace that he's got it all under control, even if you don't see it, even if you feel like he's a day late and a dollar short. He's very much in control of your situation. I love you. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.